Junior Roses, welcome back to the show. I hope you guys are good. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the top lies that students tell teachers. We've all done it. We've all lied to the teacher, and sometimes for good reason. I say that, I don't think there's ever really a good reason. Just if you don't want to get told off, basically. Okay, so we're going to look at the stupidest lies first, and as this video goes on, they get more and more common. I bet you've told the lies at the end. I know I have. When I was in school, I hated getting told off, so the only time I would ever lie to the teacher is just to avoid getting told off, because that was for some reason, my number one fear. It just made me want to cry. I was just a little innocent ginger boy. Okay, before we start, guys, as always, I just want to point this out. All of you fantastic, brilliant people who watch my videos, there's a massive 74.5% of you not subscribed. Well, if you don't mind just hitting that subscribe button, it's free, it's easy to do, and it really helps me out, so thank you. Okay, so the first lie that students tell teachers, apparently 1% of them, my music is off. The weird students who always have their earpods in. Yeah, that actually brings back a memory. I do remember the kids in school, but then the teachers, whether it was a lie or not, the teachers would always just say, just take them out anyway, because there's no need to have them in, is there? Why would you have earpods in and not be listening to music? It doesn't make any sense. 2% of students tell this lie, I didn't write on my desk. Well, this is actually vandalism and therefore punishable. Yeah, but to be fair, I feel like most students probably didn't write on their desk. Like, it's normally somebody from before. I always remember in my exams, when I'd finish my exam, or if I was bored in my exam, which was most of the time, then I would look at the desk and just look at what it would say on the desk, like just from what previous students had put. Some of them just put help. Just help. 4% of students have told this lie. My pet died. This is way too sad to lie about. 4%, that is a lot of students. I mean, that's probably still millions of students that have told that lie, but I suppose it gets them out of maybe coming into school. That is such a weird thing to lie about. I definitely haven't lied about that. 6% of students have told this lie, lying about your name. This can be quite funny when there's a substitute teacher. Oh my god, yeah, because the substitute teacher comes in and they don't know who anyone is, and they're often just don't know how to control the class. They don't know what they're doing, and it's just really funny. My name is Fanny Four Eyes. Oh, hello, Fanny Four Eyes. Nice to meet you. 7% of students have told this lie. The bus driver was on strike. Really, the bus drivers went on a spontaneous strike. Well, you know what? I could see it happening, but also I feel like that's a bad lie to tell because the teacher could actually find out whether the bus drivers are on strike or not. 9% of students have told this lie. My grandma is sick. Oh my god, that's worse than the pet one already. Weird excuse to use if you ask me. Oh god, yeah, that is. I mean, I suppose they're not likely to find that one out, but it's also just, that's pretty low. If you're going to lie about your grandma. If you want to get out of doing homework, I'm sure there's better lies to tell than that one. 11% of students have told this one. My boyfriend dumped me. My boyfriend broke up with me, so I was not able to study. Fair enough. I think I've told that lie at some point in my life. 14% of students have told this lie. I think you lost my work. Pretending that your teacher has lost your assignment. Basically just trying to gaslight your teacher. I think you lost it, sir, actually. Yeah, that's why I don't have it. You lost it. The teacher's going, well, that's fair enough. I'd like to apologise, Jake. Genius. 17% of students have told this one. Lying about the time of the month. I have my time of the month. Yeah, I am going to have to go home, really. Yeah, I haven't told this one for obvious reasons, but yeah, I mean, I can see why girls would do this, to be fair. It's an easy one. It's just an easy card that's there all the time. They wouldn't probably be able to use that one every day though, unless they're having a really shit month. 18% of students have told this lie. It's on my USB stick. Coincidentally, my USB stick is also at home. Yeah, that's a good one. That is a good one. It's funny, all these lies wouldn't have existed 20 years ago. Just like USB sticks weren't around, or they probably were, but we weren't using them in school. Don't forget to stick around to the last lies, guys. They're the most common. I bet you've told these in school. 22% of students have told this one. I hurt my leg. Sorry, sir. I really can't participate in PE. No, I never told that one just because I always loved PE. I always wanted to do it, but you'd always get some people that didn't like it. Each to their own. 24% of students have told this one. The bus was full. There was really no room left to get on the bus. That's quite a funny one, actually. Imagine the bus driver just stopping, opening the door and saying, you can't get on. The bus is full. I feel like that would never happen. Also, 24% of students have told this one. My bike had a flat tire. Interesting. That's a lot of people that have said that lie. I doubt 24% of students cycle to school. Like, surely they're either walking, getting the bus, or their parents are driving them. They're got to be the most common things. I used to get a helicopter to my school. Just take my private helicopter and then just parachute out. 26% of students have told this lie. I have a note for PE. Teacher, I don't feel like exercising, okay? You can't really lie about that one though, unless you've handwritten the note yourself and made it look like either a doctor's note or your parents' handwriting. I remember there was one kid in my school who photocopied. He actually was sick once, and he photocopied his doctor's note, and then used it again, like, the next year. So he just had a stash of notes. 29% of students have told this lie. My camera doesn't work. This was mainly an excuse with online classes during the corona pandemic. Yeah, luckily I wasn't in school during COVID. I had already left school. I wasn't even at uni, so I luckily avoided all of the education stuff that was going on during COVID, because that would have been terrible. Learning online, I suppose it would have been nicer than going to school. I've heard about this, how everybody used to say that their camera doesn't work, and they've got no way of proving it either. But like, if half your class doesn't have their camera on, you probably know something's up. 32% of students have told this lie. I will send it tomorrow. Yes, totally. And tomorrow, I will send it tomorrow too. And so on. Doesn't make any sense. Basically, you just say to your teacher, I'll send it tomorrow, and then you never do. But it's the weekend then, so it doesn't matter. 36% of students have told this lie. This is my mum's signature. Let's be honest, who has never signed anything themselves? Have I signed anything myself? I feel like I might have done it once. I might have tried to like forge a signature once, but I can't remember what it was for. Oh, I think I tried to like fake a doctor's note or something. Or not a doctor's note, but a note from my mum to say that Jake's not feeling very well today. 38% of students have told this one. I forgot my gym clothes. Worst case scenario, you'll have to put on a replacement outfit. Oh yeah, use the lost property. That was horrible. You'd pull out, it would stink, first of all. Just stink of BO and shit. And then also it wouldn't be your size. So I can't fit into this skirt, sir. How do you expect me to do this? I'm not playing dodgeball in a girl's skirt. 48% of students have told this lie. I'm not feeling well. I mean, yeah, this was probably the biggest lie I told throughout secondary school. I can't remember how long it was. I had at least a month off. There was a point where I really actually genuinely wasn't feeling well, and I had a week off. And I started to feel better, and I thought, I don't want to go back to school. So I just continued to pretend I was still ill. Yeah, it wasn't great. Which is great. Like, I had a bit of time off, but I also I built up through that time a lot of anxiety about going back. So going back was really hard for me. I did not want to go back. But I'm glad my parents pushed me to, because otherwise I would have just been a miserable teenager. 59% of students have told this lie. Assignment was unclear. I didn't understand the assignment, so I couldn't make it. Yeah, I mean, that is one. I suppose that is kind of an excuse, but at the same time, surely the teacher's reply is just going to be, you should have told me earlier, like when I gave it out. So I feel like that's not the best excuse. Hey, look, if you're gonna lie, do it properly. 59% of students have told this one. I was not cheating. Boys and girls, cheating really isn't good. Really, 59% of students lie about cheating. I don't know where they get these statistics, but that's a lot. That's one thing I can say. I'm proud about myself. I may not have got the best grades when I was in school, but I never cheated. That's why I failed all of my exams. 61% of students have lied about this. They say, I wasn't running. Why is running through the corridors forbidden? Yeah, I don't know. What's the issue with running? We all do it. Well, at least we should do it. Like, it's not even like it's that dangerous, unless it's like a science lab. The only place I can understand it is if it was a science lab, because obviously there's loads of like chemicals and dangerous shit going around. But in a corridor, what are you gonna do? Stab your friend with a compass accidentally? It's not gonna happen. 62% of students have lied about this. I left my phone charger at home. Now, quite coincidentally, the task is on my computer. Oh, okay, so lying about bringing your charger in and all your work's on your laptop. Yeah, I suppose that makes sense. But at the end of the day, with stuff like that, like the only person you're lying to there or cheating is yourself. 66% of students have lied about this. Printer out of ink. A classic one. Has this ever worked for anyone? To be fair, that is actually a genuine excuse I've had. I remember having a couple times. So my mum and dad didn't replace the printer ink, so I couldn't print off the homework. But then nobody believed me. 71% of students have lied about this. My printer is broken. This excuse is used so often that it no longer works. Oh, that's funny. 74% of students have told this one. The bus was late. The bus excuse. Students who came by bus certainly know this. I don't think the whole time I was in school my bus was ever late. Maybe by a couple minutes, but I'd always get to school on time. Bus driver, if you're watching, well done. 78% of students have told this lie. No way I was on my phone. Who has ever been caught with their phone during class? I remember being caught with my phone once, but I genuinely was checking the time, and the teacher confiscated it from me. So I literally just got my phone out to check the time and put it back. And I think they looked over at the wrong minute, and it obviously looked like I'd been on it for ages. And they just confiscated it. They're like, Jake, give me your phone. It's like, no, miss. 78% of students have told this lie. I have an appointment. Yes, that is so true. The doctor's appointment seems to be the most popular excuse. That was a good one. Sometimes your parents would use that one, actually. Even your parents would lie and use that. If your parents had like planned a day trip out and they wanted to take you and maybe your siblings out and they wanted an excuse to tell the school, that's what they'd say. Jake has an appointment today. He's having a penis examination. 80% of students have told this lie. Yes, I understand. Pretending to understand something when you don't understand it at all. Why would we lie about that? Like, looking back, I used to tell that lie probably more than any of these so far. And I don't know why I'd do it. Like, if I didn't understand it, why would I not just tell the teacher? I think it's because I also didn't care. If I didn't understand something but I wanted to learn, then I think I would have said. Also, 80% of students have told this lie. I am almost finished. Pretending your project is almost finished when you have yet to start it. Oh my god, yeah. That would be the worst with like the long assignments. Like if the teachers got you to do something that was coursework, for example, and they gave you 2 months to do it, and you're 6 weeks in and you haven't started it yet. Oh my god. And then how's the progress on that tree project coming along, Jake? Oh, great. Yeah, I'm nearly done, actually. Yeah, I haven't even started it. 82% of students have told this lie. Is that today? Wait, what? Do we really have a test today? What, so they're trying to gaslight the teacher, tell them it's not today, it's next week? That is quite funny, actually. Also, 82% of students have told this lie. Your alarm didn't go off. It actually went off, and then I just fell back asleep. Oh my god, the amount of times I do that is actually quite scary. At that point, though, if you're already late to class, I don't think the teacher really cares. They just want to get on with the lesson. 85% of students have told this lie. No, I'm not chewing. When you quickly eat a cookie in the back of the class. Then put it back. I do remember trying to eat really discreetly in lesson. Don't really understand why you're not allowed to eat in class. Like, again, I understand it in a science lab, but any other lesson, surely, why not? Is it because it's distracting? I don't know. 88% of students have told this lie. My laptop did not work. I really wanted to make my task yesterday, but my laptop, it's broken. Not a lot I can do about it. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you used that one or any of these so far. I definitely have. Okay, we're making it to the last ones now, guys. 90% of students have told this lie. The traffic was insane. Oh my god, I actually use this for work as well. Before I was a YouTuber and TikToker. When I worked in a little farm shop near where I lived. It wasn't even that far. It was like a 10-minute, 15-minute drive. I'd just say, oh yeah, got stuck behind a tractor. You know, there was so much traffic. That's the reason why I'm late. To be fair, they didn't care anyway. They're like, yeah, all right, whatever, Jake. Get on stacking those shelves. Yeah, all right. I'll take the fridge temperatures too while I'm at it. 91% of students have told this lie. We will stop talking. I read that as wanking. Don't know why. We will stop wanking. Biggest lie I've ever told in my life. And 5 minutes later, you are chatting with your neighbour again. Your neighbour, I think it means the person sat next to you. Yeah, all right, miss, I'll stop talking. Sure, whatever. God, the amount, I mean, that was not me. I was not that kid in school, but there were so many kids in my school that were like that. 92% of students have told this lie. I was sick all of last night, and coincidentally, you were not able to complete your task. If I was sick all of the night before, I would not be going to school the next day. Absolutely not. 93% of students have told this lie. I didn't copy the homework. Real friends never betray each other when the teacher asks. That is so true. I do remember doing that, copying my friend's homework, but just changing it a little bit. But then it was a mutual thing. Like sometimes I would do it, and then he would copy mine. We had a little bond going on. Okay, finally, guys, we've made it to the last two, and these are the most common lies you will ever tell in school. 95% of students have told this one. I forgot my homework. Hard to believe if this is ever true. I mean, I would go as far as to say 90% of the time it's not true. I reckon there's only like 10% of the times that students say that it's actually happened, like they've genuinely forgotten it. And finally, guys, we've made it to the last one, and 99% of students have told this lie. They say, no, I wasn't talking. Biggest lie ever. Biggest lie ever. No, miss, I wasn't talking. It was the wind behind me. Or worst case scenario, you blame it on someone else, and they're like, then you've made an enemy. If you blame it on someone else and then they get told off, you've made a grave error. To be fair, though, I do think this lie with me, it wasn't even a lie. Like, sometimes the teacher would accidentally think it was me. If it was a substitute teacher, because most of the teachers knew I wouldn't normally talk in class. If it was a substitute teacher who didn't know who I was, they'd think it was me talking, because I used to sit near the kids who would talk, and they look at me and they just tell me off. I'm like, what the hell? This is racist. Is it because I'm ginger? Right, okay, that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Hope you enjoyed watching. That was a throwback. That was a little throwback to the past. You know what I worked out the other day? I have been out of secondary school for longer than I was in it. I just realised that the other day, and it sunk in. It sunk in, and I don't know how I feel about it. So I was in school, secondary school, for 7 years, and it's been about 7.5 years since I left school. What on earth? I'm getting old. Right, before you go, guys, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps me out. I hope you enjoyed watching. Take it easy. I will see you in the next video. Bye!